welcome back to another week at the Hangout with your boy Lonzo Low. Thank y'all for really tuning in for these past couple of weeks. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to see the numbers, going up a little bit. And, I see people are really tuning in and listening every week. So I just want to say thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. I thank y'all. I love the support. This is all this shit is new to me. You know what I'm saying? So if I fuck up somewhere along the line, just know that I'm still learning how to do this podcasting shit. You know what I mean? I didn't sit down and look on YouTube and how to do podcasts. I'm recording all that shit from my phone. You know what I mean? Until I can get some better equipment and I can do it that way. But for right now, I'm just winging it. You know what I mean? So, but now once again, I want to thank y'all so much for just tuning in and listening. You know what I mean? You don't even have to take the time out your day to listen to me for 35, 40 minutes or an hour. That means a lot, So thank y'all once again. And don't forget to follow my the Twitter page at the Hangout, and also the Twitter page. Not the Twitter. I'm fucking up. The Instagram page at the Hangout. I'll be sure to attach a link to the episode. But anyway, this week's episode, I want to talk about where you from and how you grew up. And I'm going to start it off with myself, of course, because I want my listeners to every week I want my listeners to get to know me a little bit more. So that's the topic of this week, is where you from. So I'm going to just jump right into it. So basically, where I was raised, where I grew up as Northern Virginia, it's a city called Alexandria, Virginia. It's located in the DMV area, Northern Virginia. And anybody know who's from Virginia? Virginia up on the northern side is completely different from Southern Virginia. So anything that's like, I don't know. I would say Richmond is more like kind of southern or central Virginia. But for me, anything that's like, below Woodbridge, to me, is Northern Virginia. And anything below that is Central Virginia. And anything below that is Southern Virginia, like the 7 cities, Norfolk, Virginia Beach area, and all that. But anywho, I don't want to get into a whole goddamn Virginia debate on what part of what. But anyway, I'm from Alexandria, Virginia. Born and raised, been there, grew up there up until the age of 8 years old. So I know that's not a very long time to be like, this is my city, blah, blah, blah. But, that's where I'm from. That's what I claim. It's in my blood, it's in my heart, and that's where I'm sticking to. So, my upbringing, I didn't have a silver spoon or a silver plate, whatever the fuck how they say. I didn't grow up with a silver spoon in my mouth. You know what I mean? I grew up struggling. I grew up in the projects. Single mom raising 3 kids. Shit was rough. Shit was hard, but we made it through. So a little bit of background of my city. It's right there across the water from Maryland and right next to DC. So all of that little area is called the DMV area, Central Atlantic area. Mid-Atlantic is also what it's called, but most of the time we call it the DMV area, DC, Maryland, Virginia. For those who don't know. So that's what I rep, that's where I'm from. A little background about my city is it's not a big city, it's not large, nowhere large like New York or LA or Chicago or nothing like that, but it's a city. It's got its street corners, it's got its corner stores, you got the city-esque, and all that shit, So where I grew up, particularly in my city, is on the east side. So you got 3 different parts of Alexandria. You got the west side, you got the east side, you got the south side. I stayed on the east side. The east side is by the water, closer to Maryland and DC, And on the east side, you have 4 different projects. So out of the 4 different projects, you had the old projects, you had the new projects, or uptown, whatever you want to call it. You had the Burg and you had the Village. Those were the 4 main projects on the east side of Alexandria. And there's plenty of other projects all over Alexandria, but those were the main 4 on the east side. And I grew up out of 2 out of 4 of them. So I grew up, I grew up in the old projects and the Village. So I first started off in the old projects up until the age I was like 2, maybe 3, maybe. I don't know. It's been so long. And then from there, I went to the Village. And I lived there ever since until I moved out of Alexandria completely. So out of all the 4 neighborhoods, I would say each one was known for something different, but all of them were the same. And out of all the 4 neighborhoods, I would say like the worst, I guess, would be and I'm gonna say it in order. The worst I'll say is the Burg, Uptown, Old Projects, and then the Village will be the last. But all of them had, you know, niggas doing what they do. Yeah, y'all know how it go down in the projects. Niggas shooting, niggas robbing, niggas killing, niggas stealing. You know, niggas slinging on the block and all that good shit. I remember being a kid and, you know, out my front window, it'd be niggas, you know, on the corner, you know, doing their thing, hustling. You know, niggas be getting the fights in the back alley and shit. Niggas be shooting in the back alley and shit. I will never forget this shit. I think I was like 4, maybe 5 at the time. And it was in the back alley where my house was. And I want to say it was to the right side towards the street corner. But anywho, as best I can remember, all I can remember is it was 2 niggas arguing about what? I don't know. It was 2 niggas arguing. You could hear that shit. Them niggas loud. Next thing you know, about a good 30 seconds to a minute in, all you hear is some pow, pow, pow. It was like a good 2 to 3 shots. And then everything just got quiet. About 2 minutes later, 3 minutes later, police pull up, show up, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, the niggas, they got into an argument about something, and the other nigga pulled out the gun and shot the nigga right there on the corner, and, you know, that was the end of his life. So, you know, a lot of times when you grow up in poverty, you're gonna experience a lot of shit as a child that you're not supposed to see, but you see it because that's just your environment. Your environment makes you who you are, and it's not, you didn't choose to live like that. That's just how it goes. You know what I mean? So my upbringing, you know, it was a little tough because not only I'm struggling, but I got to see shit every day that I don't choose to see, but it's just right there in front of my face. You know what I mean? So going to school, and it's funny because my school is right next to my neighborhood. I could literally walk to my school in 3 minutes. Thomas Jefferson Elementary School. So if anybody listen to this, y'all know exactly what school I'm talking about. It's right next to the Village. You could literally walk there in 3 minutes, just like that. Excuse me. But yeah, man, like growing up in the projects, man, it was a struggle. But the funny thing is, though, even though it was a struggle, you know what I mean, it was fun, you know what I'm saying? Like, niggas used to do crazy, wild shit growing up as a kid, playing manhunt, ding dong ditch, and shit like that. And in my neighborhood, we used to have blackouts all the time. So, like, and if people who don't know blackout, that means the entire neighborhood, all the power is off. Like, all the power is off. So it's pitch black outside. You can barely see. You can't see shit. You know what I'm saying? So niggas be out there just bullshitting around, you know, having fun at night, you know what I'm saying, doing whatever. And man, that shit used to be fun, yo. You know, I kind of miss those days growing up in the projects with my friends and, you know, my brother and sister and, you know, doing all types of crazy wild shit, you know what I mean? And just having a good time. But at the end of the day, you know, it's still tough because you still got to deal with poverty and struggling, and having not having money and all that other shit. But you know, it was taken care of. But one thing I did like about my neighborhood or just my city in general is that, you know, people were authentic, man. You didn't have people putting on a show for nobody. I mean, you got your niggas up front, but it just seemed like everybody from my city was real and authentic, man. And you know what I'm talking about when you just cut from a different cloth. Y'all know a real nigga from a real nigga from, you know, wherever that case may be. You know the saying goes, real recognize real. So you can recognize a real nigga that came up kind of like how you came up. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you pretty much just automatically show respect just off of that alone if there's no beef in between. You know what I mean? Pause. So, you know, when you first meet a nigga and you know y'all kind of got that same background, you know, you automatically have some type of respect depending on the circumstances of the situation. Because if you from a neighborhood where he don't fuck with and he from a neighborhood that you don't fuck with, then there's gonna be some tension. You know what I mean? But if that's not the case, then yeah, you know, y'all understand the situation. But anyway, I want to dig a little deeper about my city as the state of where it is now, and it is being gentrified all over the place. Like the neighborhood that I was telling you about, Uptown. You know, all of that shit is gone. Like my old neighborhood, whole entire neighborhood is gone. Been demolished and destroyed, and now it's been replaced with condominiums and townhomes and, you know, Starbucks and all that other bullshit. And I don't want to call it bullshit because I can't lie, the shit does look nice and it definitely cleans up the city and makes it, you know, more valuable. But, you know, it also hurts at the same time because it's like you just looking back at the stuff, you know, that you grew up with, and you know it's not there no more. You know what I'm saying? I remember waking up, going to school, and after going to school, I used to I was going to the rec center, and from there I was going to the Boys and Girls Club, man. And, you know, I think the Boys and Girls Club is still there. I don't know about the rec center, though. I think the Boys and Girls Club is still there. It might be. It's been a long time since I've been through there. But yeah, man, it's like, I look now, and it's like a Starbucks on every corner, a Whole Foods on every corner, a little gym on every corner. It's different now. You know, I miss having, you know, going to the corner store, to the little old white lady. I mean, shit, I know she's dead now, but shit, when I was a kid, this is like back in like the late 90s, early 2000s, she was at least 80. Guy had to be 80 because she was a little old white lady, nicest lady in the world. Little old white lady, and all of us niggas used to go in there and just get all the snacks. And this is the time, you know, and for people who don't know, I'm 27 going on 28. So I'm creeping up on 30. But back in the day, this is the time where you can walk in a fucking corner store with $1 and walk out with 4 bags of chips. Bags of chips is only 25 cents. So you be good with $1. Like, that's all you really need. You get ice cream, you get a bag of chips, you know what I'm saying? You get a soda, all that shit, man, for $1, man. Like, it was crazy how long $1 would take you back then. Now you can't even get shit off the damn dollar menu at McDonald's for $1. And they still call it the dollar menu. It's not the fucking dollar menu if it's over $1. You know what I mean? But I miss that, man. The memories of just walking in there, giving me a bag of chips and a soda and some ice cream, all for a fucking $1. Nigga, if you had $5, you was balling. If you had $5 in your motherfucking pocket, walking into a corner store, at that time, you was balling. Nigga, you bought yourself something and your whole crew something. If y'all was rolling deep, everybody was getting something off that $5. If you had $5, everybody that rolled with you had $5 because you could afford it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how cheap shit was back then. You know what I mean? So I miss that shit, man. That shit, going to the Boys and Girls Club, playing basketball and, just doing fun things, and having fun. Doing hood nigga shit, playing ding dong ditch is what we used to call it, or also we used to call it knock knock. Just doing fun hood nigga shit, man. Playing manhunt, all that shit, man. I remember I used to go to the little pool right on the other side of the school next to the rec center, man. Every summer, man, we used to be, me and my brothers and sisters used to go there every summer, man. We'd be black as shit because we would literally go to the pool almost every other day. We'll go to the pool, come back in the house, chill for a while, and come back outside around like 5, 6 o'clock during the summertime, of course, school. And we just have fun, man. Just living it up, doing whatever. Moms used to be at work. She'll come home around like 5, 6 o'clock, make us dinner, order us pizza, whatever the fuck the case may be. But for anybody who grew up in the projects, doing wild shit was the fun shit. You know what I mean? And it's just kind of crazy how I look back at it. It just makes you realize how times has changed. Like some of the shit that you did then, you can't possibly do now. You know what I mean? You couldn't get away with that shit. But yeah, man, Alexandria, man, that's my city. That's where I'm from. That's home to me, and I love it, man. That's just stitched into my body. It's in my bloodline, and all of my family is from the. Everybody in my family is from Alexandria. I mean, we spread out now all over, but that's the birthplace for my family, and where we come from, and that's what we stand on. I miss it growing up. I really do. So the next segment, and I guess I kind of already got into this a little bit already, but the next segment I want to talk about is the struggle of the streets. And basically what I mean by that is, for anybody growing up in the projects, growing up in the hood, especially as a young black man, there's only very little options for you. It's either you robbing, killing, selling drugs, or you good at sports, and your whole goal is to make it out through sports, whether it be football or basketball. That was it. That was the only options. And that shit sucks, because 90% of the black communities, that's just what it was, growing up in the projects. If you wasn't selling dope, you was robbing. If you wasn't robbing, you was killing. If you wasn't killing, you was playing ball or football or whatever. You was scheming. And if you wasn't doing that, you was using fucking drugs. You know what I mean? So that was it. That was the only options. And out of growing up in the neighborhood where there's no money. You come from a single parent home, and everybody knows that your father wasn't around. You either left or you never met him, or whatever the fuck the case may be. And it was tough. So as a young black man, and also as a young black woman, your options was very limited to your surroundings. You literally only had those options, and that's it. And if you were able to move out into a better neighborhood and into a better school system, then you were blessed, you were lucky. And that's what happened to me. I got lucky at the age of 8 going on 9 that my mom, she got sick of living in poverty in a bullshit neighborhood, so she moved away. Because she knew that if she stayed any longer, she knew that me and my brothers and sisters was going to get into some shit that we can't come back for. You know what I mean? She knew I was going to be on the corner selling drugs or doing whatever. And I even told her when I got older, I was like, thank you for saving my life from, being in a different direction. Because if I never left my neighborhood, the projects, I would have definitely either A, sold drugs, B, be dead or in jail. You know what I mean? Those are the only options. I honestly wouldn't have mounted up to shit. I would have had a few baby mamas. You know what I'm saying? I would have been right there on that corner doing what I do. And, probably been locked up 4, 5, 6 times, whatever the fuck, not giving a fuck about life. And probably would have been in jail 4, 5, 6 times by the age of 25. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how it was, and I was very lucky that she took me out of that situation, because that's the path that I was going to end up, and that's the path I was going. You know what I mean? Because I noticed I started to get into a lot of trouble before we left. So, it was just one of those things where it was like, okay, what can you do, But yeah, man, the struggle of the streets, man, growing up in poverty, man, you basically have your back to the wall. When you don't have finances like that, you know what I'm saying? You don't have money to do what you want to do and do what you need to do and pay bills and shit. So now you got to sacrifice your life and your time in order just to make the little ends meet. You know what I mean? And that shit sucks, because nowadays there's so many ways to make money. You don't even got to sell drugs and do illegal shit no more to make money, man. There's so many legal ways to make money online. It's ridiculous. So selling drugs these days is literally obsolete. Like, you don't have to do it. Whereas, as far as back then, that was basically one of the few options that you had to make quick money. If you wanted the quick money, if you wanted to be balling, if you wanted to be, having a lot of money in your pocket and not worry about nothing, then selling drugs and doing what you're doing, that was the only option. Unless you wanted to rob niggas. You know what I mean? And that shit ain't cool. It ain't cool nowadays. It was cool back then, but it ain't cool nowadays. Because like I said, there's just so many ways to make money. Like selling drugs. If you still selling drugs today, why? That's my question. Why? For what? Like you could literally go online and make money just like that. Now, give or take, it does take some time to make a little bit of money online, but you can make money online. It's so many ways. Now, I get it. When you grow up in the streets, you know what I'm saying, it can be very addicting, because you become addicted to that fast money lifestyle. You're addicted to the cars. You're addicted to the clothes. You're addicted to getting money quick. You're addicted to the women. You're addicted to the life and the scheme of everything else that comes with it. But at the same time, man, that's only the very small portion of it. Because you always got to look over your motherfucking shoulder every time you come outside of your house, every time you get out your car, every time you walk down the block, because niggas is always on you. Especially niggas know you got it. Now you got to look out for your enemies. Now you got to look out for the robbers. And now you got to look out for the killers. Niggas trying to scheme you. And 9 times out of 10, it's one of your homies is trying to take you out. One of your homies trying to take your shit, take over your shit. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So it literally comes down to, is all that shit worth it? Nobody talk about that shit. You getting locked up over and over again, and then you gotta watch your shoulder over and over again every time you come out your crib. You know what I mean? You gotta carry your gun with you everywhere you fucking go. That shit is stressful, yo. Niggas glorify that shit in their songs, in the movies, in the videos. Like, that shit is cool. But niggas don't never talk about the shit that you gotta deal with and go through on a day-to-day basis. You know what I mean? Like, I just told you a story about a nigga getting shot over some shit. I'm pretty sure it was over drugs or money or whatever the fuck the case may be. You know what I mean? And you gotta lose your life over some stupid shit, over a few fucking dollars. Over a few dollars. You know? Niggas don't never want to talk about that shit, man. They just all they show you is the glitz and glam and the cool side of selling dope. But don't nobody want to talk about, you might step outside your door and the nigga be right there to peel your cap back. You know what I'm saying? Take your fucking head clean off your fucking shoulders. Don't nobody want to talk about you got to go to jail and then you got to save up money to pay for a lawyer to get you out of jail to get you a reduced sentence. Don't nobody want to talk about that. And then if you do go to jail, you gotta have some money stashed away. You gotta expect your baby moms or your girl not fucking with you no more if she not gonna hold you down. Because if you get locked up on some serious charges, you looking at a dime and Mary, you can't expect that woman to hold you down for 15 years, 20 years, whatever, however long you gonna be in there. You know what I mean? And then you be locked up in there with some niggas that you had beef with on the streets, and now you gotta watch your back in there too. Don't nobody talk about that shit. So it's a lot that goes into that shit, man. You know, and today's world is not worth it. Even back then it wasn't worth it, but today's world is definitely not worth it. You know what I mean? So it's just at this point, why? Just why? You know what I'm saying? Like for me, I'm not a street nigga. Never been a street nigga. I'm just a real nigga that grew up in the projects. You know what I'm saying? I knew a lot of street niggas. A lot of my family members were street niggas. And, you know, I don't think I was around enough to become a street nigga. Because I left the projects when I was 8 going on 9. So I seen and heard and done a lot. But I haven't been there enough to really get the full experience. But I was there. You know, I seen it all. You know? And, you know, I carry my neighborhood on my back, but I don't go out and walk around in everyday life acting the fucking fool neither. You know what I'm saying? Like when I left Alexandria into a new completely different town, the suburbs, if you will, it was different for me. It was hard for me to readjust because I'm so used to the fast pace and the city life, and in the suburban life it's a little different, and everybody's different over there. You know what I mean? Like I'm walking through school and I'm giving niggas the stank out of shoulder and you know, thinking like what's gonna pop off, you know how it go. And at the same time people looking at me like, why are you so aggressive? Mind you, I'm 8 years old acting like this. It's because of my environment. And everybody else around me is so cool, calm, and laid back. And I'm like, damn, thinking to myself, like, this is weird. Like, I felt uncomfortable because I wasn't used to that. I wasn't used to people just being so calm and cool and collected all together, that many people all together at once. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't used to that. You know, so it was different for me. It took me a while to really adjust. Like the first week in the new school, I got suspended because the niggas was talking greasy to me. Like in my mind, I'm like, all right, you talking shit, that I gotta handle that. Because where I'm from, if a nigga talk greasy to you and you don't do nothing, then you a bitch. You considered a bitch. You know what I'm saying? You're not considered a man. You considered a bitch. So you got to stand on your words. You got to stand on that. You know, niggas talking greasy to you and you ain't going to do nothing. And now niggas going to play you and they going to try you and they going to try to punk you. So you always got to defend your name all the time. If you don't want niggas to fuck with you, you got to defend yourself all the motherfucking time. So that's the mentality I was walking with when I transitioned to a new school. So it's this motherfucker talking shit. And mind you, this nigga was talking shit and it wasn't a black person, of course. It was, you know, a white person. This motherfucker was talking shit the entire week, and I let it slide because I'm like, alright, I'm in a new school. I'm not trying to fuck this up. I'm not trying to get in trouble. I'm not trying to make my mama look embarrassed. So I'm just chill. By Friday come, this nigga just still talking shit. I'm like, alright, cool, bet. So we go outside. Was it the playground? Yeah, no, I'm sorry, it wasn't the playground, it was the little track. You know, you run around the little track and shit. So we go outside, we go run around the track. Right? I see this motherfucker, he like halfway around the track ahead of me. So I was like, alright, I'm gonna get him. I wait till he gets to the far side of the track, like away from the teacher, so they couldn't see. And as soon as he did that, I just beeline across the field to the other side of the track where he was at, and I yanked him by the back of his shirt, and I just pulled him down, and I put him in a headlock, and I said, "Bitch, who the fuck you think you talking to? I will fuck you up." And he was just trying to get out, the little headlock I had him in, and he was kicking and screaming and yelling, and I just choked him up some more, and he was bitching, and I was like, "Don't talk to me like that again, you don't fucking know me." And then I let him go. This motherfucker gets up crying. Y'all already know what happened next. This motherfucker ran straight to the teacher, boom, and just straight snitched on me like that. I mean, I should have known, you know what I mean? I should have known he was going to snitch on me, but I didn't give a fuck, because I let this motherfucker get away a whole week talking shit to me, and I let that shit slide. And that's not, in the project, you don't normally do that, but like I said, I wasn't trying to embarrass my mom, and I wasn't trying to get in trouble, so I was like, you know what, whatever. But a motherfucker only takes so much. So this motherfucker sprints across the field over to the teacher and fucking just instantly tells on me just like that. So teacher calls me over, and they was like, did you do such and such? And I said, no, I didn't. And he was like, yes, he did. And then he showed the teacher his neck, because his neck was all red from me. Put him in the headlock from choking him and shit. And the teacher was like, why is his neck red? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. He could have fell. So they was like, all right, you're going to go to the office. So we go to the office. Long story short, I got suspended. Mind you, I never admitted to this shit, but the motherfucker had a witness. A witness came, and somebody was like, yeah, he did this. So I'm like, these motherfuckers in this bitch is some hoes, bro. You got niggas snitching, you got niggas telling on niggas, you got niggas just sucking dick, man. Like, that shit was not cool for the first year. Like, my first year was just some bullshit, and I was only there for half a year, because I did half a year at original elementary school, and I finished off the rest of the half there. So that half a year was just some bullshit, because I'm like, man, this shit is corny, man. You know what I'm saying? So they ended up suspending me for like a day or two, and then when I came back, I had like another day of in-school suspension and whatnot, and blah, blah, blah. Of course, my moms was mad, because, like I said, I wasn't trying to embarrass my moms, but what you want me to do? I gotta defend myself, right? So, fuck them niggas, yo. Straight up and down. I had to do what I had to do. But anyway, like I was saying, the struggle of the streets, man, that's just how it is, man. You gotta just worry about shit like that. Just worrying about how to get to the next motherfucking day, man. That shit is stressful, dog. Like, when you grow up in the projects, it's all fun and games sometimes, but late at night when you lay your head down and you gotta worry about having food on the table the next day. You gotta worry about how your parents are gonna pay the bills, because the light's about to get cut off in the next days or 2 days, a couple days. The water about to get cut off. Something is about to get cut off. You just worrying about shit that you're not supposed to be worrying about as a kid. And, it's just hard, man. It's tough. It's really tough, So next segment I want to get into is, what is your city known for? And please, I want y'all to chime in on these topics and discussions on the Twitter page and the IG page, because I want to see and know where y'all come from and how it was for y'all growing up. And you don't have to have a bad background or upbringing, you know what I mean, to tell your story, because everybody's story, means something to somebody, whether it was tough or it wasn't tough. Everybody's story means something to somebody. So in the comment section, when I post on the Twitter page and Instagram page, I want y'all to comment below where you from, what your city's known for, and how you grew up. I ain't saying you gotta write a whole paragraph. just give basics and shit. You know what I mean? But anyway, next segment is what is your city known for? And to be honest with you, I don't know as far as historically what my city's known for, but what I do know is known for is, like I said before, it's just like got a authentic people, man. You just got that raw, real, authentic people. It's just like the people where I'm from, they're just real raw, or how it used to be. You know what I mean? They were just real raw and authentic. You know what I mean? They were just very cut and dry, but like cool people, but don't fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of real niggas come from where I come from, and you don't get that every day. Excuse me. You know what I mean? What my city's known for is, just having, some real niggas, especially, where I'm from. Now, like I said, I'm from the east side of Alexandria, and then you got the south side where my grandma used to stay, and then you got the west side, which I feel like the west side was more like, I don't want to say that neither, because the west side was more like Landmark Mall area. If anybody know what I'm talking about, Landmark Mall used to be the mall back in the day, where everybody used to go to. It's kind of sad now because it doesn't exist no more. I mean, the actual mall is still there, but it's been closed down for some years now, so you can't even go in it no more. It's just completely closed down now. And it's sad because, I remember going there as a kid and just going to all the little stores in there and just, damn, it's sad thing about all this shit, man. This shit is sad, man. All of my fucking childhood memories is gone, man. This shit's crazy. It's like, shit, man. If I can go back and relive some of those moments, I would, man. That shit have so much fun. But yeah, like the west side of Alexandria, you know what I'm saying? That's more in that area, like the Landmark mall area down Duke Street and all that shit. That's more like the west side to me, all in that area. And Alexandria, I'll say its borderlines are kind of like mixed, because there's like parts of Alexandria that bleeds into Fairfax, but it's like basically Fairfax, but we consider it also Alexandria. It's confusing, but that's just how it's always been. But yeah, but that's what I think my city's known for. Is just some real authentic people, real niggas. Just having a culture of just being black and young and just being real. You know what I mean? We're not really known for food like that. I mean, we do have places that sell some good fucking fish boxes. I mean, some of them corner stores back in the day, and some of them little corner carryouts is what we call it in the hood. We used to call it carryout. And for those who don't know, a carryout is basically like a restaurant that you don't sit in and eat. You just get your food in there, you get it, and you walk out. You walk out with it. That's why it's called a carryout. And I forget what street this one carryout was on, but it used to be owned by some Asian people. It's not there no more, but it used to be owned by some Asian people. And man, no motherfucking man, they used to have some of the best fish boxes and some of the best chicken wings, man. And they used to have the mumbo sauce. Oh, speaking of topic, mumbo sauce. I want to talk about this for a second. So for those who don't know, mumbo sauce is a sauce that comes from DC. I know I'm talking about my city, but I want to throw that in there because mumbo sauce is very, very iconic in the DMV area. You don't have to be from DC to know what it tastes like. Everybody in the DMV know what mumbo sauce is, and they actually sell that shit in the stores now, I think. Well, they sell it in Walmart, but I don't know if they sell it like all over, but in this area, they sell it. But mumbo sauce is basically like a sweet, savory sauce that you can put on chicken, fried chicken, of course. You can put it on fish too. I never seen nobody put it on fish though, but I'm pretty sure you can put it on fish. But mostly people put it on chicken, fried chicken, and that shit is fucking delicious, man. That shit is good than a bitch. So for anybody who ever come through the DMV area, just go to any curry out. Most curry outs in this area got mumbo sauce. Now, mind you, everybody makes their mumbo sauce different. So one curry out's mumbo sauce not gonna be the same as the next curry out's mumbo sauce. Some might be a little bit more sweet than others. Some might be a little bit more tangier than others. Some might be a little bit more tart than others. So all the mumbo sauce, the main ingredients are still the same, which I don't fully know the main ingredients, but I think one of the base ingredients is either ketchup or barbecue sauce. I'm not sure. I could be wrong. Y'all out there in the DMV area, correct me if I'm wrong. What's the base to the mumbo sauce? Like, what is the main base to the sauce? I don't know if it's ketchup or barbecue sauce. I think hot sauce is in there somewhere. But what is like the base of it? Please leave it in the comments on the page. But yeah, if y'all come through the DMV area, you guys to check out the mumbo sauce, man. That shit, I'm trying to tell you, you'll love it. You know what I'm saying? It's like sweet, and it's like kind of like barbecue sauce, but not like barbecue sauce. It's got this sweet, tangy taste to it. You know what I'm saying? And it tastes so motherfucking good on fried chicken, yeah. It tastes so motherfucking good on fried chicken. But anyway, that's what I feel like my city's known for, is just having some real authentic motherfuckers. You know what I mean? So this next segment I want to get into is love it or hate it. Do you love your city or do you hate your city? Do you love where you come from and what your city represents, or do you hate where you come from and what your city represents? Because I've met a few people who came from different parts of the world and they just hate where they're from. They don't like it. They just did not like it at all. So they moved away so they don't have to go back, and deal with dealing with growing up. For me, on the other hand, I love where I come from. You know what I mean? It makes me who I am today. I'm glad I came from where I came from because, like I said, it's a lot of authentic, real motherfuckers where I come from. You know what I'm saying? And I'm definitely an authentic person. I keep it funky. I keep it funky with any and everybody, and I try to always be authentic and real with any and everybody. Even if you're not being real with me, I'm gonna still be real with you. Because what I need to fake the funk with you for? You know what I'm saying? I don't got nothing to gain from lying to you and putting on a face and show for you. That don't help me out at all. You know what I'm saying? So I love my city, for that. Not only that, just the activities we used to have growing up, just going to the Boys and Girls Club and the corner store, and just having a story to tell, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know some people, they come from some places, and where they come from is just very cut and dry. It's nothing that really, there's no flavor to their city. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of cities out there that don't. And I'm not hating on nobody's city or where they come from, but sometimes people come from places where there's no flavor. It's just, boring. I don't want to disrespect nobody's town or whatever, but, that's just how it is sometimes. But where I'm from, there's a lot of flavor, you know what I mean? A lot of flavor, a lot of activities and fun. Oh, that's how it used to be, Just like how back in the day they used to call it DC Chocolate City, but it ain't been called that for years, if you get my drift, if you know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? But shout out to the niggas from DC. Shout out to the niggas from Maryland, PG County, Waldorf, and Bethesda, Largo area. And, I can go and name all them areas all fucking day. But shout out to the whole DMV area, Southern Maryland, DC, Northern Virginia, just all of that. Everybody. And I know I'm gonna go ahead and throw Baltimore niggas in there too, even though they don't consider themselves the DMV, which technically they not. And let me be clear. The DMV only consists Northern Virginia, DC, and Southern Maryland. Like PG County and shit like that. That's the DMV area. So yes, it's DC, Maryland, and Virginia. But to be very precise and specific, it's literally just the Northern Virginia, DC, and Southern Virginia area. And that's just what that area consists of. And everybody in this area fucks and listens to go-go. So if you anybody who ain't never been heard before, just know if you go to any of these areas, you will probably hear some go-go music. And go-go music is basically a type of music that was, born out of the DC area. And the godfather of go-go, who we all know is Chuck Brown, he the one that basically started go-go. And it's basically just a genre of music within a city. You know how every city got their own, genre of music, like what is it? I think what's the city known for bounce music? There's a few cities known for bounce music. Like bounce music. I think Chicago's known for like house music, just like how you got the West Coast known for G-Funk, and you got New York and them niggas known for the hip hop and shit. You know what I'm saying? You got the Southern niggas known for the the Southern type shit. You know what I'm saying? And they got what Miami's also known for having the house music and bounce music and shit like that. I think New Orleans is the same way. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but every city has their own genre of music, and basically go-go is its own genre of music within the DMV area, and it's pretty much consists of just drums and percussion with the congos and shit like that. So if you don't know what go-go music is, just look it up. You can look it up, all the go-go bands and Chuck Brown and all that. I'm not gonna get into naming all the fucking go-go bands, because I know everybody got their favorite, and they gonna be like, why you ain't named this go-go band? Why you ain't named that go-go band? It's 100,000 fucking go-go bands that come out of Maryland and DC. So I'm not even gonna fucking get into that fucking war, because I don't want niggas coming at me talking about why you ain't named this and why you ain't named that. Just know I said I put go-go on the map, goddamn. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, back to what I was talking about originally is I love my city. I love where I come from. Just being cut from a different cloth, man, means a lot to me. You feel me? Like a lot of people coming from different cities all over the country or all over the world, you're going to get something different out of them. Every neighborhood, I like to say every neighborhood is different, but they all have the same struggles. Every neighborhood is different. They all have the same struggles. It's just a different type of different niggas, or shall I say, same nigga, different neighborhood. Because we all going through the same shit, man, struggling and shit. You know what I mean? So, we all going through it. We all trying to make it out. We all trying to put some money in our pockets to raise our family. And, whether you love your city or you hate your city, you got to represent your city, because that's where you come from. That's where depending on how long you was there. Now, if you was only there for like a year and some change, then, does it really count? I don't know. You was born there, but you wasn't raised there, so I guess it don't. But yeah, man, I love my city, man. Would I move back? Fuck no. Because number one, it's expensive as hell to live there now. Number two, is the city life for me ain't me no more. I got kids, I got a whole family to look after. And trying to live in the city with a whole family, it ain't gonna work for me. It's too fast paced. Your house won't be no bigger than a fucking parking space, to be honest with you, and you paying $2,500 for a 2-bedroom condominium, you know what I mean? Or you paying $3,000 a month for a brickstone, you know what I mean? So yeah, fuck all that shit. I love my city, but I definitely wouldn't go back to live because it wouldn't be practical for me. You know what I mean? It just wouldn't be practical at all. You know. So I couldn't. I still go back to my city every now and then to visit family, but to live, nah. Plus the traffic is way worse now too. But so fuck all that shit. But yeah, I definitely love my city, man. So I want y'all to also comment. I know I said this a lot, and I know I'm getting on y'all motherfucking nerves with this bullshit. But I also want y'all to comment. Also, like, do you love your city? Do you hate your city? And if you love your city, why? And if you hate your city, why? Why not? Or whatever. Because I want everybody to represent where they're from. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go ahead and close this episode out. Because, you know, it's getting a little long. You know, it's at 50 minutes coming up to an hour. And I want everybody who is going to be listening, who is listening or whatever, tell me where y'all from, man. And, you know, tell me what your city is known for. And, you know, what is it about your city that you like and what is it about your city that you don't like and all that shit, man. Because I want to interact with y'all, man. I don't want this to be some shit that y'all just listen to and hear me fucking talk all day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want that type of thing or theme to be going on with this. You know, I want y'all to interact with me, and I want y'all to, you know, come up here with me and talk to me and get to know me, and I get to know you, and you know, build something off of that. You know what I mean? I want everybody to be cool, calm, and collected, and just have a good time when they listen to me talk, because I don't want, you know, to just y'all listen to me talk and that'll be it. I want to experience y'all and get to know where y'all from and get to know who y'all are, because y'all are going to make me, Lonzo, who I am if I ever become big off this podcast and shit. I can't do it without y'all. If I don't have y'all to listen, I'm just a motherfucker that's just talking into a phone. I mean, that's what I'm doing now, but you know what I mean. You catch my drift. But yes, please, I want to interact with y'all for sure. But yes, be sure to tune in next week. Every Thursday, I'll be dropping a new episode, and I'm definitely looking for other guests to come up. So, like I said before, if you want to be on the guest on the show, just DM me, hit me up on IG or Twitter, and then we'll discuss some things and figure some things out, and I'll have you up here and let the audience know who you are. So be sure to tune in next Thursday with another episode with your boy Lonzo Low at the Hangout.